Good day, everyone. We are here to present our business plan on the Achievers Believers Youth Inspirational Center, and our group members are Belinda Balastreka, Cherise Moore, and myself, Alicia Woods. Our executive summary, the business concept, we saw a need to encourage and engage young people in international, productive, and constructive ways while recognizing and enhancing their strengths. Opportunity and strategy to empower them to become independent, productive, and engaged members of their society. Our target market is youth between the ages of 11 to 19 years old, along with their parents. Our management team is Belinda Balastreka, Cherise Moore, and myself, Alicia Woods. Our startup cost would be 110,000. Our offering, the Achievers Believers Youth Inspirational Center, will provide community-based activities, education, mentoring, counseling, and employment readiness programs to help them develop skills and strengthen ties to family. Our company overview. The Achievers Believers Youth Inspirational Center is a community-based non-profit partnership organization that was founded in January 2018 by Belinda Balastreka, myself, Alicia Woods, and Cherise Moore. The center is currently located at San Fernando East Secondary School that seeks to encourage and engage youth between the ages of 11 to 19 years old along with their parents. Our objective is to design a program that will impact and enrich the lives of youths as they become young adults. The industry and company and its products and services. Our targeted industry for this venture is the social industry. In order for us to justify that marketing opportunities exist, we conducted an industry analysis by using the PESTEL and Porter 5 Forces tools. Our mission statement: YMAD engages underserved youths through community-based activities, education, mentoring, counseling, and employment readiness programs to help them develop strengths and ties to family and community. Our goals and objective is to build healthier relationship with parents, teachers, peers through our counseling and mentoring programs, enhance individuals' development as it provides youth with opportunities, is to foster and develop skill sets and life-driven purposes, and to generate young people a sense of responsibility and to defeat the level of dependency. Our service description: YMAD offers programs that are venued to ensure that youths and parents have access to adequate activities. Our programs include community-based prevention program, mentoring program, and enrichment programs. Our entry, growth, and strategy. Barriers to entry is obtaining finances, acquiring the appropriate location, team building, attracting and retaining customers, and competition. Our strategies to overcome these barriers to entry is partnering with investors and sponsors, effective negotiation pitch, effective advertising and marketing strategies, and using a benchmark for improvement. The industry and company and its products and services. Our targeted industry for this venture is the social industry. In order for us to justify that marketing opportunities exist, we conducted an industry analysis by using the PESTEL and Porter 5 Forces tools. Our marketing size and trends: with a population of 55,419 persons, we have surveyed 52% from the Pleasantville area and 48% from the St. Magdalene area. Our competition and competitive edge. Our main competitor is the Trinidad and Tobago youth groups. They cater to the needs of young people between the ages of 5 to 21 years old. Their strengths: they are more experienced and well-established organizations, but their weakness: they lack communication and support after the members no longer requires their services. Our other competitors, as you can see, are CCC and YTEP, and their strengths and weaknesses is also the same, that they lack communication after the program is completed. Our estimated market share. Over 5 years, our estimated market share should be at 80%. Analysis. Data collected from a total of 61 persons from 2 secondary schools and primary schools, and also households in the San Fernando East constituency, were randomly selected and visited for the purpose of our research. 52% surveyed in the Pleasantville area and 48, as I mentioned before, in the St. Martin area. 46 were females, whilst 54 were males. 51 indicated a need for a youth center in their community, while 49 indicated that it is not necessary. 50% indicated that they would love to participate in our program with their parents, while 11% indicated that they prefer to attend alone. 90% indicated that the service, if provided, they will be willing to participate in the planning and development of the program. Our marketing plan. Pricing. All our programs will be offered free of charge. Our service tactics provides a facility that is safe for youth to express their uniqueness and have a sense of belonging. Allows participants to engage in positive social, educational, and community service activities, actively strengthening family bonds to reinforce mutual respect, as well as family members learning to value one another. They will experience a clean facility that will offer the best customer service in the industry. All of these will help maintain customer loyalty and encourage others to participate. Our advertising and promotional tools. We decided to use social media as a form of advertising, which is through Facebook, Instagram, and our organization website. We also use flyers, word of mouth, and merchandising. Our distribution tool is through service and experience. The center will be accessible to youths that are registered.
Design and development plan. The development status and task will be building stronger relationship with civil society, gaining support from the government to go out there and render our service, advertise the service offered all around Trinidad and Tobago, building strong community ties, and developing mindsets with change. Difficulties and risks. WIMAD is real risk in developing and maintaining all around refinancing. If we don't get financing and support from sponsors, we will have issues in keeping the business running. Having delinquent youths that might try to disrupt the sessions can be will be an unsafe feeling. Not being able to reach the youths in the community, and a break in the partnership. Product improvement and new products. The Achievers Believers Inspirational Center has decided to offer additional skills and academics to the youth in the area. Cosmetology, which is one that most of the youths venture to, so we are looking to offer that. And as we have children between the ages of 11 to 19, we're looking at adopting a homework center to assist the young people who are still in school, to at least to build them and build their self-esteem with getting homework done at all times. Additional sessions, one-on-one with the counselors, and adding additional days, because at the beginning we had the center running just 3 days. So to add more days, that we'll have more activities running. The cost, due to the additional service being offered, there will be an additional cost in the expenses in the area of maybe about 10,500 or maybe a little more. This cost will cover tools, stationery, extra utility charges, transportation for field trips, and stipend. Appropriate proprietary issues to be the responsibility to deliver the service being offered to the public, which is basically the youth we're looking to target, to cooperate across boundaries of the southern communities, to be able to maintain our rights and dignity. All youths and members are free to practice in their beliefs, for there will be no judgment. Manufacturing operations plan. Again, the initiating plan of the project is to start by introducing the youths to what we have offered. We did the surveys and all the research, and then we had to get people's opinion of what they think about the center. The second part of the cycle will be the planning and the organization and putting things in place, making people comfortable. Then the execution of it, having the sessions running. We first tried a session before with people coming and they had their input. Then we'll have the sessions running and carrying out all the different courses that we have in TAC for them to try. And to close the project, we'll be getting feedback on everybody's opinion of what takes place after that.
Analysis. Data collected from a total of 61 persons from 2 secondary schools and primary schools, and also households in the Safanano East constituency were randomly selected and visited for the purpose of our research. 52% surveyed in the Pleasantville area and 48, as I mentioned before, in the St. Martin area. 46 were females, whilst 54 were males. 51 indicated a need for a youth center in their community, while 49 indicated that it is not necessary.
The regulatory and legal issues. Basically, when we research the issues for our center, we know that as NGOs, we're not allowed to register the center under a year. And when we do register, we register under the Attorney General Legal Affairs Ministry. And we have to be able to meet a criteria of 40% of the operation of the business. We also have to verify and dedicate all our banking accounts and subventories, disclose all the partnership banking accounts and all previous yearly external audits that we did financially before we were registered. Those are the legal issues that hangs over the NGOs as they start a business. Manufacturing and operational plans where the supply chain is laid. The planning process used to cover the demand needed in supplying items purchased, and then researching all the aspects and process for the firms, putting all the plans in place for the staff and the volunteers to work with. So we need to have suppliers that will be able to give us all the tools necessary. So then the management of YMAD is used to maintaining costs and maximize efficiency for the center. So basically we depend on sponsors and our fundraisers. So we must be careful how we reach out to suppliers to make those things necessary. Supply chain of YMAD seeking to help centers to reduce waste. So we are not a place that's just going to spend money while we actually look at how we do it in an effective and efficient manner. Inventory, all items in stock we'll use actually we're looking at a point cards to keep things in stock. We'll be monitoring all the areas. We'll have a person in charge of stock and inventory. We'll also be replacing and replenishing all things that are laid out for the center using cards to manage the outgoing inventory and the incoming inventory for the center. Our management team and the Achievers Youth Inspirational Center look at an organizational structure of a board of directors, and we'll have one director. As we said, Miss Pascal would have been one of the persons that will assist us in this aspect. So she'll be the director who will be liaising with the program manager, the human resource administrative manager, and the accountant manager. And then under that we have a secretary and receptionist that will follow through for working with the administrative managers. And under the program manager we have somebody in charge of program coordinating. These are all volunteers thus far, a program officer and a field officer. And they also will be doing other things like the skill sets and training and like dancing and drama also. We also have training officers, educational officers, assistant HR manager, because of the fact that all of them come with experience and knowledge academically with degrees and masters, so they will all assist us there. We also have the inventory manager, as I said earlier, a supply chain officer and a finance assistant, all volunteers. So the management compensation ownership, the titles, we also look at, for the first year, basically we looked at the board just getting a stipend of $1,000, the volunteers $500, those that require a stipend. Secretary $1,000 because of the length of time that they work. They basically work 3 days per week. Receptionist $750, and again we had most of the volunteers saying that they would work free of charge. Supporting professional advisors and service business consultants and lawyers, actually they would be just assisting us for the beginning of the first year, so there weren't any stipends involved. Stability and impact. Economic. The employment. The center will energize the desire for the youths to make the world a better place for giving their skills and social change and social market to decrease employment in Trinidad and Tobago, the employment rate in Trinidad and Tobago. The environment area is to encourage and plant disability and agricultural practice to enhance oxygen. So basically in this area we're looking to make sure that they have a vast skill set, so they can learn to do at least to rear their own garden and to plant crops and stuff like that. In the society where the youths could be the backbone of the nation, again we say we're raising youths to be the future leaders of Trinidad and Tobago. So basically this is why YMAD is stretching their hands out in society to encourage this. critical and risk problems and assumptions. For the critical risks and problems, financial constraints due to lack of investors, and one of the main areas that YMAT could fall short on. Then we have large competitive market throughout Trinidad and Tobago, the difficulty in obtaining proper equipment. Control strategies is working with investors who offer quality service and meet the specific needs. We also have building and maintaining constant communication with other suppliers. The assumption with the project production will achieve due to having numerous investors on board. And we're looking at having a lot of investors because we know some of them will just be supplying things at one point in time. Whereby will receive more well received by the public. Location easily accessible. And for the financial statement, basically what we looked at for the income statement would have been like our revenue setting and then our expenses. And basically these were the figures made for the 3 years incoming, 2018, 2019, and 2020. The financial statement where we showed the balance sheet for 3 years also, the first year, second year, and third year. And basically the balance sheet would have shown an increase according to every year. But there were areas that we had to retain stuff like we had unpaid suppliers and unpaid wages because of the fact that our investors and sponsors took a little while before they brought the money in, and the fundraisers we did when we reached a certain level. And again, our cash flow, it was like up, basically up and down, where we saw that some months we gained and some we didn't. But basically we had a nice setting for the cash flow of all the aspects of what we gained, because again, we had our service rendered, our individuals that sponsored us, the board of directors, the public agency, which have been our sponsors, and then our fundraisers, and basically little miscellaneous thing that people would put small donations, and basically our expenses would have reached their targets. Our breaking even point would have been at the point between 2 and 3, where all of the areas would have connected, where the financial stuff of the fundraiser sponsors and our expenses would have touched around that same point that we would have broken even in the industry. The startup capital for the company would have been $110,000. We looked at the expenses for the first year, which would have been $177,550. Excuse me, which would have taken us more, but because of the sponsors in between that and we had to raise some funds, we were able to meet their criteria across the board. This was just to show you basically how we raised some funds for the first 4 years and the gains that we made. Investors return. All our investments of the financing to support YMAD will build in networking because of the fact that they will be able to now reach all youths of the South and the East area, and they'll be able to touch base with persons, letting them know, giving them information, teaching them about what's going on in the country. They'll be provided with a well-trained youth and the ability to work with inspire others, which means that now that they are able to go out into the working world, that they are now able to go out there and touch base with them. They are well ready to reach people in the market. And next benefit will be successfully working in the business, sowing back into the community, sowing back into the country, making positive steps for the youths. Appreciation to all our investors by assisting with strong buildings in the community, meaning that we look at projects that we could put like a bus stand where people can wait and advertise their businesses. And additional service will be to invest in the sponsors, and I'm like when they have events, and we could all service them in their events. Group 6, thank you for being a wonderful audience.